Cathedral in Turin, Italy, lies a linen cloth that has baffled scientists, theologians, and skeptics alike. Burned, patched, and stained with what many believe is human blood, the cloth bears a faint but haunting image of a man brutally crucified. Could this be the true face of Jesus Christ? Or is it the most elaborate religious hoax in history? For over 600 years, the Shroud of Turin has sparked fiery debates, scientific investigations, and spiritual awakenings. But behind the smoke of faith and skepticism lies a trail of secrets, disappearances, and forbidden experiments. Tonight, we uncover the bizarre, the unexplained, and the terrifying truths surrounding one of Christianity's most sacred and controversial relics. This is the story of the Shroud of Turin, revealing the true face of Jesus. In a dark cathedral in Turin, Italy, rests one of the world's most mysterious artifacts. Some say it is a miracle. Others call it the greatest forgery in religious history. Measuring over 14 feet long and 3.5 feet wide, the Shroud of Turin is a linen cloth that bears a faint, ghostly image of a crucified man. It shows front and back impressions, bloodstains, whip marks, and what appears to be a crown of thorns. Many believe this is the burial cloth of Jesus Christ himself. But where did it come from? Historians trace its first certain appearance to 1354 in France, when a knight claimed to have it. Yet the church initially declared it a fake. Then, in 1578, the shroud was moved to Turin, where it remains today. But here's the twist. Documents from Constantinople in the 10th century describe a cloth with an image of Jesus that vanished during the Crusades. In 1898, the mystery deepened. An amateur photographer named Secondo Pia took the first photo of the shroud, and what he saw shocked the world. The negative revealed a detailed, lifelike face. It wasn't just a cloth. It was a photographic negative before photography existed. How could medieval artists create such a thing without the technology modern science joined the hunt? In 1988, the Vatican allowed carbon dating tests on small samples of the cloth. The results, between 1260 and 1390 AD medieval times. Critics cheered, but believers weren't convinced. They argued that the sample came from a patch sown during a fire in the 1500s. So scientists turned to other methods like 3D imaging. In 2010, experts reconstructed the face from the cloth using image processing algorithms. The result? A man of Semitic features, aged around 30, with injuries matching crucifixion. This face, eerily human, has been called the closest image we might ever see of Jesus. But there's no DNA proof, no historical chain of custody, only mystery. Then came the pollen test. Botanists found pollen from plants only found in Jerusalem and the Dead Sea. And dirt particles from the feet area matched ancient limestone found near Golgotha. Was the man in the shroud truly in Jerusalem 2,000 years ago? No one can say for sure, but these clues haunt even skeptics. The shroud has even survived fire. Twice. In 1532, it was nearly destroyed in a chapel fire, but only edges were burned. It was repaired by nuns using patches that now confuse scientists. Another fire in 1997 almost claimed it again, but it was saved by a single firefighter. Even today, the shroud draws millions. Some kneel and weep. Others only observe, but all leave with questions. Is this truly the burial cloth of Jesus Christ, or a centuries-old masterpiece of deception? For now, the Shroud of Turin remains exactly what it has always been, an unsolved mystery, the pilgrimage of faith. Each year, believers from every continent journey to Turin, some walking, some on crutches, others pushed in wheelchairs. To them, the shroud isn't just fabric, it's hope. They believe that by seeing the shroud, they are drawing closer to Christ's suffering and resurrection. A modern miracle. In 2002, a man named Marco Valenti, blind since birth, attended a public exhibition of the shroud. He touched the glass barrier and prayed. Moments later, he claimed he saw light. Then outlines, then miraculously, the face on the cloth. Doctors called it impossible. But the Vatican investigated and never dismissed it outright. The face in AI. In 2023, a team of AI scientists attempted to reconstruct the shroud using deep learning algorithms trained on 1st century Semitic male facial structures. The results were startling. The face had unique features that matched historical descriptions of Jesus. Dark eyes, olive skin, a strong yet gentle gaze. When rendered into full color and depth, many wept. Some even fell to their knees. Skeptics strike back. Critics argued that AI could hallucinate data, especially when trained on religious bias. They launched new tests seeking pigments, brushstrokes, anything man-made. But again, no paint was found. The shroud seemed to defy all known art techniques even now. The DNA debate. In 2024, mitochondrial DNA traces were isolated from dust on the shroud. The results were a mixture Middle Eastern, Southern European, even traces from India. Scholars suggested contamination across centuries. But some saw it as proof of ancient global contact, possibly via Roman trade. Still, no definitive match to Jesus could be made. His DNA remains unknowable. The Vatican's secret archive. A Vatican archivist revealed that private documents hinted at another Clothone said to have been hidden in Edessa before being brought to Constantinople. It matched the size and image placement of the shroud. Was it the same cloth renamed through time? If so, the shroud may predate 1354 by centuries. Hidden clues in the weave. In 2025, a new digital fiber analysis discovered a hidden cross-shaped pattern only visible under specific light wavelengths. Was it intentional? An artisan's signature or another mystery? Some called it divine symbolism. Others called it coincidence. The quest for the tomb. Inspired by shroud clues, archaeologists searched a lesser-known tomb site outside Jerusalem's Old City. Inside, they found faint linen impressions in the stone. No cloth, but a ghost of one. Was it a burial chamber reused centuries ago? Or something else? The New Crusade, digital faith. YouTubers, TikTokers, and VR developers now bring the shroud to new audiences. A virtual cathedral lets people view it from home. Some call this a modern blessing, bringing faith to the screen. Others fear it cheapens the sacred. But interest, especially among the youth, is soaring, confronting the unknown. In a panel of global religious leaders, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, and Buddhist, they reflected on the shroud. While their beliefs differed, they agreed. The image on the cloth carried a universal message of suffering, sacrifice, and mystery. Perhaps that one imam said is the real miracle. The shroud speaks. Or does it? Some theorists propose the shroud might have been created by unknown physics, a radiation burst from a body at death. Could resurrection leave a fingerprint of light? No one can prove it, but no one can disprove it either. The face that endures today. The shroud rests silently behind bulletproof glass, climate-controlled and carefully guarded. To some, it is the greatest artifact of faith. To others, a brilliant work of art. To all, it is unforgettable. The face remains not yelling, not commanding, but gazing quietly. What if it is real? And what if it is real? What if in linen and blood the story of one man's suffering and love was imprinted forever, not just on cloth, but on human history? If it is real, then God left us more than scripture. He left us a face that calls us not to prove or disprove, but simply to look.